Now at 10 and streaming on CrossToday.com, a local family's heartbreak after a beloved pet is lost in a neighbor's dog attack. Why questions remain about what happened and what's next in the search for answers. Texas lawmakers are clashing over a bill that could ban all THC products. See what's fueling the fight. And Bloomington takes the next major step toward shaping its own future. Details on its new city status.
Well, it's now June, and it's definitely going to feel like it. Hot and steamy weather. There are some storms in far west Texas. Could they come in our direction? We'll talk about that coming up in a moment.
And Victoria Generals begin Texas Collegian play action tomorrow night. We'll highlight the Generals season opener coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker. Shauna Curry is off tonight. A Mission Valley woman wants her neighbor to pay for the death of her Schnauzer dog and to repair the fence where the neighbor's German Shepherd attacked her small dog. 25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley spoke with the owner to get some answers.
Spoke with the vet on the phone. I asked for photos because I didn't believe him initially, and I truly believe that Teddy could be saved because he meant so much to me.
On April 23rd, Amber Love says her neighbor's German Shepherd bit the mouth of her miniature Schnauzer through the fence. The Victoria County Sheriff's Office responded to the scene. The dog, named Teddy Bear, was taken to the vet for treatment, but there was nothing to be done, so the dog was put down.
He was a very gentle dog. We took him to the groomers regularly. We took him to the vet regularly. He was up to date on everything. He was very healthy, very happy dog.
Amber requested body cam footage from that day, but the sheriff's office accidentally sent the wrong video. She's still trying to get the body cam footage. Love says her neighbor covered the vet bill, but she still wants them to fix the fence. She tried to contact them several times, only to be met with the cease and desist letter.
It's important to take care of your animals. It's important to have your animals fully vetted and to socialize them so things like this don't happen.
A spokesperson with the Victoria County Sheriff's Office says no violations were found relating to Teddy Bear's death. Ray Mosley, KAVU-TV, 25 News Now.
We tried to reach out to the owner of the German Shepherd, and the owner declined to comment. A Yoko man faces a charge of manufacture and delivery of a controlled substance. Last Thursday afternoon, Lavaca County deputies, Yoko Police, and West Side High-Intensity Drug Trafficking Area Task Force members executed a search warrant that came from a charge of distribution of methamphetamine. Moses Alvarado was arrested on his outstanding warrant. He is in the Lavaca County Jail in lieu of $75,000 bond. 3 people face illegal gambling charges in Victoria. On the night of May 29th, Victoria Police, with help from Victoria County deputies and Texas DPS, executed a search warrant at a business in the 1900 block of Kern Drive. The search warrant came after an investigation into illegal gambling at that location. As a result of the search warrant, 37-year-old Tiffany Beltran, 29-year-old Alexis Madrigal, and 51-year-old Huhini Bennett Merlin were arrested for the charges of money laundering and engaging in organized criminal activity. Bennett Merlin is in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of bonds totaling $40,000. Beltran and Madrigal bonded out. Bloomington is now on the map as an incorporated city in Victoria County. This morning, county commissioners certified the results of May's election, sealing the deal. That means big changes are coming as the community begins charting its own future. Precinct 1 Commissioner Danny Garcia says now it's time to lay the groundwork, from setting up a city council to deciding on services and infrastructure.
But they have to get sworn in. Then they'll have to have a bond. They'll have to be bonded. We've sent them that information on how to get bonded. Then they have to have a meeting to accept themselves as an elected official.
Commissioner Garza says Bloomington's newly elected officials now have 20 days to get bonded, sworn in, and hold their first official meeting. Residents say there's still a lot to do. The wheels of local government are finally in motion.
Everything is up in the air. It's a huge learning curve. And as the first official incorporated city outside of Victoria, in Victoria County, they're setting the standard. They're setting the curve, and they don't have a leader to follow.
Victoria City Manager Jesus Garza says he'll help the Bloomington officials during their incorporation process. A 12-member committee has been established to lead a national search for the first president of Texas A&M University Victoria. To read this full article, come to our website, crossroadstoday.com. The Texas hemp industry is firing back at Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick after statements industry leaders are calling fear-mongering. 25 News Now reporter Trent Whiting joined us now with information on a news conference this morning addressing those statements. Trenton?
Yes, Don. Lieutenant Governor Patrick made an explosive claim that hemp businesses, quote, want to kill your kids. Industry leaders are calling the claim inflammatory and flat out false. They say Patrick's rhetoric, quote, vilifies law-abiding Texas farmers, veterans, and small business owners. Supporters say banning these products could have serious consequences, especially for veterans who rely on them as a safer alternative to prescription drugs.
Taking this away from us is a threat. This is literally our lives that are at stake. Hemp-derived consumables have helped thousands of veterans in this state, millions across the country, avoid the pharmaceutical cocktail of opioids and antidepressants.
Senate Bill 3 to ban any THC products passed both the Texas House and Senate, and it's on the desk of Governor Greg Abbott, who has the option to sign it into law, veto it, or let it become law without his signature. Now, advocacy groups are planning to continue battling the bill, saying they've sent over 100,000 petition signatures and thousands of letters to the governor's office until the bill officially becomes law. If it does, it'll take effect on September 1st this year. Don, back to you.
Trent, thank you. And this brings us to our viewer poll tonight. Do you support or oppose vetoing Senate Bill 3, which would ban legal hemp-derived products? Your choices: strongly support a veto, somewhat support a veto, neutral, no opinion, somewhat oppose a veto, strongly oppose a veto. So far, the audience average is neutral or no opinion. We want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and we thank you for voting. State lawmakers approved a bill limiting protests at public universities. Lawmakers agreed to a final version of Senate Bill 2972, which would give university systems governing boards the power to limit where protests can take place on campus. Under the new legislation, members of a university community would not be allowed to use microphones to amplify sound while protesting during class hours. The bill bans protesting in the last 2 weeks of the semester. Students would also be barred from erecting encampments. Time to check on our weather. Let's go to Mac Pettis with the first look at the forecast. I really hope you saw Storm Prep 2025 to get you ready for this hurricane season. Mac, fantastic 30-minute program there.
Well, thank you very much. It ran at 6:30 this evening, folks. It was a 30-minute program, but it'll be on again different times, different channels, but also it's also on our crossroadstoday.com. If you go there, you can see the segments. You know, insurance, what do you do with that? What does a Category 1 really mean? New techniques for forecasting, all of those things. Now, there are some things brewing in the Caribbean and in the Gulf of Mexico, and we'll be talking about it after this segment coming up.
Mac, thank you. Governor Greg Abbott was in San Antonio today to sign House Bill 150, which will establish a cyber command center based in the Alamo City. Governor Abbott spoke about the bill and how the new center will serve as a line of defense against cyber attacks.
Another expert said that Texas has become a target of cyber attacks due to the lack of investment in cyber protection. That changes today. I'm signing a law that creates the Texas Cyber Command. It is an historic investment of $135 million by the state. And again, thank you, Senator and Representative, for getting that done. It also may involve in the future a meaningful investment from the University of Texas system. And it's going to be headquartered right here in San Antonio, Texas.
In his State of the State address earlier this year, Governor Abbott declared Texas Cyber Command an emergency item for the 89th legislative session, which just wrapped up today. A man who is accused of attacking people using a flamethrower and Molotov cocktails at a Jewish community event in Boulder, Colorado, has been charged with 16 counts of attempted murder and commission of a federal hate crime. At least 12 people were injured in what the FBI describes as a planned anti-Semitic attack. During a news conference Monday, officials said that a total of 16 unused Molotov cocktails were recovered after the incident.
Boulder, Colorado firebombing suspect Mohammed Sabri Solomon appeared in court Monday. He faces a federal hate crime charge. According to jail records, Solomon is being held on a $10 million bond.
It is set at $10 million cash only.
Solomon allegedly used a makeshift flamethrower and Molotov cocktails to set people on fire during a Jewish community event Sunday. The event takes place weekly in support of hostages in Gaza. According to an affidavit filed Monday, Solomon told investigators he, quote, wanted to kill all Zionist people.
And when he was interviewed about the attack, he said he wanted them all to die. He had no regrets, and he would go back and do it again.
Solomon is facing multiple state felony charges, including 16 counts of possession of incendiary devices with criminal intent.
I felt like heat, huge amount of flame. And I just looked, and there was someone on fire.
There's a male with a blowtorch setting people on fire. We got bombarded with lots of 911s. I know that there was at least one party rolling around in flames.
An event participant says a Holocaust survivor is among the victims. The federal affidavit says Solomon had planned the attack for a year. I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Then you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. A dramatic turn in the Karen Reed trial as the defense unveils a new theory and calls a combative witness to the stand. The latest developments coming up on 25 News now at 10. Also ahead, a new lower dose COVID-19 vaccine gets limited FDA approval. Who's eligible and when could it be available? Tonight, the dramatic moment at the Karen Reed murder trial and the death of her Boston police officer boyfriend. Tonight, the witness Karen Reed's team called to the stand and what she said. Did their witness backfire? You'll hear the moment and what that officer said.
Tonight, Karen Reed's defense rolling out its alternate theory that it wasn't Karen Reed who killed her Boston police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe, by allegedly reversing her Lexus SUV into him during a blizzard in January 2022, but others. And that police covered it up, the so-called thin blue wall.
Have you ever heard of something called the blue wall of silence? Is there anybody you're protecting?
I have no one to protect.
Today, the defense calling former Canton police officer Kelly Dever to the stand. She was a combative witness.
I am put on the stand in a murder trial. I don't know why I'm here. I have no connection to this case.
And this shocking exchange followed. The defense urging her to repeat a claim she made 2 years ago about seeing that Lexus SUV at the police station, which she later recanted because it was factually incorrect, she said.
Ms. Dever, did you understand my question?
Yes, I did. You threatened to charge me with perjury during our phone call prior to the first trial if I didn't lie on the stand right now. I'm telling you, I did not see anything factually.
The prosecution alleging Reed's SUV caused these marks on O'Keefe's arm, but the defense maintaining that O'Keefe was beaten inside a fellow officer's home, bitten by a dog, and then dragged outside to die in the snow.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
A forensic pathologist called by Reed's team testifying that the wounds were consistent with a mauling by an animal.
Those wounds were inflicted as the result of a dog attack.
The prosecution targeting that witness's credibility, noting this was her first time legally examining a dog bite. Now, this is the 7th week of this trial, and the witness list for the defense is over 90 names long. We're told that the defense's case could easily last into next week. Matt Gutman, ABC News, New York.
The FDA has granted limited approval for a new lower dose COVID-19 vaccine from Moderna. The vaccine is only approved for older adults and people with certain health conditions and only if they've been vaccinated before. Moderna says the shot uses 1/5 of its original dose and produced stronger antibody levels in clinical trials with over 11,000 participants. Young, healthy adults are not eligible to receive it. Moderna expects the vaccine to be available in time for the next virus season. This is the first COVID-19 vaccine approved under new FDA rules promoted by the Trump administration. Bird flu is not just driving up egg prices, it's raising concerns about egg safety.
Eggs are everywhere, scrambled for breakfast, in salads and sandwiches for lunch, and baked into after-dinner desserts. However, with the growing worry about the spread of the bird flu, you may be wondering if eggs are safe to eat. The short answer is yes. Eggs are generally safe. The CDC says the risk of bird flu to humans remains low, and there's no evidence that the virus can be spread to humans through any type of properly prepared food. As always, continue to follow general safe handling practices when it comes to eggs, such as cooking yolks and whites until firm. When preparing dishes, cook your eggs to 160 degrees Fahrenheit and store them in the fridge at a temperature of 40 degrees Fahrenheit or lower. The FDA and USDA both regulate egg safety and are monitoring the bird flu situation. For now, you can keep cracking, cooking, and enjoying your eggs as long as you handle them properly. With this Medical Minute, I'm Melissa Adon.
Graduation season is here and we continue to celebrate the class of 2025 as they graduate. Congratulations to Juan Diego. The message says, "I am beyond proud of you for completing your college journey. All you have accomplished thus far, you have worked immensely hard for, and you deserve every single opportunity heading your way. I am very excited to see what the future brings for you and us. Congratulations." Congratulations to Tori, graduating from Victoria West High School. The message says, "You did it. We are so proud of you. Keep reaching for the stars." If you have a special grad you want to celebrate, you have until June 13th to send in a photo and message. We're featuring our area grads on air and social media. Come to our website, crossroadstoday.com, click on the Entertainment tab, then the Contest tab to submit yours.
Well, good evening, everybody. We're at 80 degrees right about now. Can you imagine that's as cool as it's getting at this hour? It feels like 85. The winds are low, so we don't have anything to cool us down. Our high was 92. That compares to 91, which is the average for the last 30 years, and we've been as warm as 99. Not a whole lot of change for our weather, but there's stuff going on in the tropics you need to know about, and we'll talk about that after this. Well, good evening, everybody. Yes, very summer-like weather, definitely, and our average high now is at 91, so you can say we're going to be like this for June, July, August, probably September. So a few clouds drifting overhead. They're not actually rain clouds, but they're debris from thunder showers that occurred out in West Texas. There's Midland, there's Del Rio. You can see the storms popping out there. Now, this is what happened last week. They popped over there and then they drifted over our. Is that going to happen? Not going to happen because the winds are now more northeast. So they're coming around this low over the Rockies, and it's basically pulling that to the northeast. So there you see the thunderstorm that was very close to Del Rio earlier today. Also some shower activity and some much bigger storms up in the Panhandle, but the severe stuff is now decreasing now that the sun has gone down. We take a look at our winds, and that's what we're going to be dealing with for quite some time. Strong Gulf winds are pumping up all that moisture in our area, and that's going to make it rather warm and humid. You can see the winds flowing all the way up into this area of low pressure out there in West Texas as well. And here's that storm I was telling you about. This one's going this way. That's why it's taking the thunderstorms in that direction away from us. So we're not going to get any of that stuff drifting in our area, although the Panhandle is having to deal with it. Tonight, not exactly cool, getting down to only 76, 77 degrees as low temperatures. Tomorrow, about 89, maybe 90 for us, 92 in Goliad, and 92 pretty much everywhere else in the inland areas. Now, what I was trying to tell you is that we've got a big disturbed weather right here in the Bahamas. No major problems. This area has a potential to develop and go in that direction. This is the one I've been concerned with. Over the last 3 or 4 days, actually Friday, the computer model, the GFS, which is the American model, has been developing a tropical system here and bringing it north into the Florida Panhandle. But that's one model out of about 19 that is picking that up. So let's just say that the other models don't agree. So this is kind of an outlier, you know. So I don't want, you're going to see this probably in social media, postings, Facebook, that kind of stuff. Big storm coming in. Well, we don't really know that. Hurricane Center is not working on it. There is no strong confidence that this will be anything. However, if somewhere June the 10th through the 14th something does develop, I just want you to know that that could be possible. This time of year, I always say, put one ear on the Gulf and another ear on the Atlantic to see if anything's moving, and then you know. Okay, so you're prepared for it. Meanwhile, down off the coast of Mexico, this is Acapulco here, that is going to go out to sea and not a major problem. So we'll take a look at your day planner for tomorrow in Port Lavaca. Yes, if you didn't enjoy the weekend, you might enjoy the week. People up there fishing and shrimping and oystering or whatever. Oh, it was the start of the red snapper season over the weekend, so that was a big deal down there. 89 the high tomorrow. There in Cuero, you're getting up to about 91. Partly cloudy on the warm and steamy side. So no real changes for the short term. The rain chance goes away, and then we'll just be hot and steamy all the way through the coming weekend, and certainly every night we'll be watching the tropics for you. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code, and we'd love for you to scan that, put Crossroads a day on your phone. We'll toss it over to Maxwell with sports. Are they still celebrating in Ganado?
Oh, they definitely are still, Mac. You know, there's never not time to not celebrate, right? Because they did win their first ever state title there last week, and also they got their all-district awards today. I'll tell you that for softball and baseball for Ganado coming up in sports. Good evening here, Crossroads. And last week we highlight Ganado softball win their first ever state championship versus the Riesel Indians 5-4 after a game-winning 2 RBI single from Kyle Stanczyk. Well, Maidens revealed their all-district awards today from this record-breaking season. And first, no surprise, the district MVP went to pitcher Saylor Burris, and co-offensive MVP went to Kaylin Benavidez. And then first-team all-district there went to shortstop Maddie Wempe, second baseman Faith Palacios, third baseman Raylan Pena, and then left fielder Zoe Ibarra. Then the second-team all-district there went to right fielder Lacey Holt, and then DH pitcher Kyle Stanczyk, who was the championship MVP there last Thursday for the Maidens. So props for a great year and all those awards there for Ganado softball. What about baseball team, right? They also got their awards today as well. First with the newcomer of the year going to Jack Hurt. The first team all-district went to Bryce Ullman, Luke Reed, Callan Hyofsky, Austin Pena, and then Kane Hayden. Then for second team all-district, Luke Burrs, Cade Nixon, and then Aiden Todick also got second team there all-district there for the Ganado Indians. So they reached the regional semifinals where they lost to the Danbury Panthers, but still congrats there for a great season as well for the Indians baseball team. And now speaking of baseball, over to Summer League baseball where the Victoria Generals' quest for back-to-back Texas Collegiate League championships begins tomorrow night on the road versus Seguin River Monsters. And heading into this season, the Generals bring back some familiar faces in outfielder Damian Whitfield and top base batter and overall player as well, Travis Bragg. But also, this team has a lot of new faces as well as they look to repeat their success from last season.
Pretty excited. You know, it was a really fun year last year, and we came out and competed every day. So looking forward to doing that again.
Just, I mean, since the guys came back last year, we just got to show them how we did it last year. Show them what a good time looks like, a good atmosphere, and what we do to win. We win a lot,
man. And you know, one of the main reasons I decided to come back to Victoria is just the environment, the community, and mainly to win it. So we're trying to get it started again tomorrow.
Absolutely.
You know, we're just hanging out in the locker room, listening to some music, still trying to, figure out everybody's names, but, we'll get it as it go, and, that's going to be the main part to a successful season.
All those players we interviewed today are all outfielders for the Generals. They'll be this season. Again, they open up tomorrow night versus Seguin River Monsters on the road. And now over to happening also on Thursday night when Victoria will be the Southwest Texas All-Star Game. It'll be Thursday at 7:30 p.m. at the Victoria Youth Sports Complex. Some of the top names probably remember overall: Victoria East, Anaya Franklin, Mia Mackay Amador. Then for the St. Joseph Lady Flyers, they have Shane Meismer, Avery Grimsiger, Valerie Villarreal, and Jasmine Gomez. And then Cuero had Juliana Cox, Audrey Kremling, and Alexis Fleshner get selected. Then Goliad had again a couple of people, and Tessa Camacho, Natalie Lilly, Lainey Kramer, and Darren Schultz. And then finally up there, how about there, the state runner-ups there, and Shiner had Joe Chaka, Kaylee Bedecker, and last week's Athlete of the Week there, and Dylan Crispin. So if you want to see the full list of participants there from all of the current All-Star teams, just go follow that article I posted out earlier on CrossroadsToday.com. And then how about this? We got the Women's College World Series Championship Series all set because Texas Longhorns, they won earlier today there 2-0 after they got a big-time home run there from Katie Stewart to help the Longhorns out. But then a couple hours ago, we just had Texas Tech beat Oklahoma. This game was closer there with it. Oklahoma's quest to get 5 consecutive possibly championships in there is officially broken there with that win there by Texas Tech. Najee Kennedy got the win there for Texas Tech and shut the doors down because this game was close. Oklahoma then tied it up there in the 7th inning after a two-out, again, two home run there from one of their top batters. And then at the end of the day, a sac fly RBI win for Texas Tech gets the victory. So on Wednesday, it will be Texas versus Texas Tech and a Lone Star kind of championship series there on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on ESPN. And that's going to do it here in sports. Don, back to you.
Max, I just saw this sports note from the Texas legislature. The Texas legislature House session closed out its 89th session tonight by adopting a resolution honoring the Ganado Maidens on their historic State 2A Division I softball championship. What a week or so for the Maidens. Congratulations to them, and stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, we'll take a last look at your weather. Plus, she's 89, still serving smiles and inspiring customers at Whataburger. Meet the beloved employee whose kindness keeps people coming back.
Watch us before I am replaced by a robot clone.
I think there's an age that kids go through where they're really, they love the idea of doing a prank, especially on.
I'm still in it.
Yeah.
What a server. At 89 years old, a Whataburger employee in Corpus Christi is winning hearts with her kindness and dedication. Terry Guerra has worked at Whataburger for nearly 17 years. After more than 6 decades as a waitress elsewhere. She's now a service ambassador and one of the most experienced employees in the company. Customers say she's the reason they keep coming back, some even traveling from out of state to see her. Her secret to staying motivated is family and a love for dancing. At Whataburger, Ms. Terry is not just staff, she's family in the city where Whataburger was invented. A group of young men in St. Louis is building tiny homes to help tornado survivors. After an EF3 tornado tore through neighborhoods on May 16th, contractor Arian Johnson started a summer mission to build 100 tiny homes for those who lost everything. With help from local teens, they're learning to measure, frame, and even handle electrical work, all while giving back. Mentors are calling on companies to donate materials to keep the project moving. Community leaders say it's a lesson in hope and a skill set that could last a lifetime. A lot of skills right there, but the biggest skill, giving back.
Absolutely.
Caring. And those are what those young people are doing there. Because tornadoes, I mean, they just scare me, they scare everybody in our viewing area.
But the thing about it, you know, at least we know there's a hurricane coming. A tornado can pop out of nowhere in a matter of seconds, and you just don't know.
And be more powerful than a hurricane.
Well, yes,
At
in
times,
one little
yes.
spot.
Yes.
But the aerial coverage is much wider. And so I keep saying, it quizzes the kids, which is stronger, tornado or hurricane? I say hurricane because it's bigger.
Oh, that's true.
And tornado
more
will
widespread, like you're saying.
Yeah, tornado will devastate half a mile. Anyway, folks, we won't have that problem. This week, we're looking hot and steamy. Temperatures in the 90s and then move into the mid-90s by the time we get to this weekend.
Thank you. And finally, Tuesday is National Egg Day. Just one egg delivers protein, vitamin D, and several essential nutrients. Experts may disagree on how many to eat, but eggs remain a breakfast favorite, whether scrambled, boiled, or fried. They're also a key ingredient in baked goods like cakes, muffins, and cookies. Last year, Americans ate more than 250 eggs per person, with Iowa and Max's home state, Ohio, leading the way. Did you know you were part of such an egg-citing news?
No, I did not, Don. I'll just say that. But hey, I mean, like I said, they're good for you, so you know, not
That's
a problem
right.
with it.
All right. Thank you, Max. And thanks for joining us. Join 25 News Now, sunrise at 5 a.m. Jimmy Kimmel Live starts now. Have a very exciting day tomorrow.